Hey, what's up, guys? It's John. I'm going to answer your questions now. I have them printed out, so let's get started. The first one wasn't in the comments that I'm going to answer, and it was actually on MSN, so here we go. It's from Zombie Dude 100. We were just talking on MSN, and he asked me why I started to make this channel, and why it really is because I was just someone who really liked video games, and what I noticed is a lot of these guys making videos on YouTube, they're just dudes. They're not anybody special, around the time I started, around the time I started, I was watching Jumbo Junkies videos, Magus' videos, Jedi's videos, and, stuff like that, and I realized, hey, these guys really aren't anybody, like, in the industry, anything special, and people watch this, and, maybe I can get my insight on games out there, too, this is just something I like to do, and, these are just guys that like to do this stuff, too, they're not anybody special, and so I decided, what the hell, I'll just do it. Alright, the next one I got is from X Lunarblight X, or Blue Soulblade, or Gear Only, or Frisky Moogle, or whatever he's at now. I think it's Lunarblade spelled a little weird, but with like zeros and crap, but alright, here's what we got. Which RPG do you remember dying the most in? It's a good question. I actually died a lot in Persona 4. What's it called? Final Fantasy 7 will get on 9 and 8. I died a lot in mainly because when I first played them out, it was like my introduction to RPGs. Let's see what else we got. Think of any other ones. Lunar I died in quite a few times towards the end. Lunar 2, that is. But yeah, that's really all I can think of. What's your favorite Zelda game? It's Ocarina of Time. Mainly because, that was really my introduction to the Zelda series. And that was actually the first game to tell me that, I'm going to be playing video games for a long time. And, that was really one of the first games that I just absolutely fell in love with absolutely everything in the game. It wasn't my first, but I liked games before that, like Mario 64, Super Mario World, and so on. But I didn't really love them, to the extent that I loved Ocarina of Time. So yeah, that's what's the deal with Zelda. What's my favorite anime? Really, I'm not really into anime that much. I've watched a couple, but if I had to pick one, Evangelion. I really like Evangelion. Well, I asked you that actually, about like Zelda, like PS everything on there. You got every single genre and in good amounts, and probably Super Nintendo because I gotta have my 16-bit gaming. I love it. And what system do you think will be next? You're planning on getting? I'm planning on getting a DS next. I've had somebody in the games of me chat, pester me for, 5 months or so, or 6 months to get a DS, and I think I'm at that point where I'm about ready to get one. And yeah, it's got some games I'm looking forward to playing. Castlevania, Order of Ecclesia, and the other two ones, Portrait of Ruin and Dawn of Sorrow. My World, My Way. That seems like a pretty fun game. The World Ends With You. Nights of the Nightmare. There's a Bangai-O remake that I want to play. And yeah, it's pretty sweet. Trauma Center, it's got games I want to play, and I also want to get a 360 and a Wii, but and a Genesis. I actually really do want one of those, and I'm surprised I don't have one already. Next one's from Forest Lock. What's the one Working Designs game you don't have that you wish you can get? That's a good question. Probably one of the Saturn games or the Sega CD games that are more rare. But I really do want to play Vanguard Bandits in the first Lunar. It's really hard to put my finger on which one exactly. Actually, Gomon, because that never came out. No, I'm only kidding. I really don't know. It's a good question. Maybe Vanguard Bandits or... I'm gonna go with Dragon Force. I really want to play that game. It looks really interesting. go with that one. But of course, I do want to own basically all the library, but it's a lot of money. Very expensive. You know, Mr. Dink from Duck. Very expensive. Yeah. Next one's from Joe Desi, Mudvayne. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry, but you used to be Dragon Warrior fanboy or Dragon Quest fanboy, whichever one it was. What game franchise do you think is way too many sequels? Honestly, I think all the franchises that have a lot of sequels have a reason to. Like Final Fantasy, you know, it's got a long history of gaming and it's got a lot of games, and you know, they're really all very good. And it's a big name franchise and people like the games and they buy it. You know, it's a major source of Square's income. Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, same deal. It was a very long-running franchise that has a lot of games in it, and it brought in a lot of money for Enix, or now Square Enix. What's it called? Castlevania, same deal for Konami. It's a big, major source of their income, and you know, the storyline is very in depth, and you know, it requires all those games to trace back, you know, the Belmont clan and all that kind of stuff. But really, the only one I can think of is the Crazy Castle games. There was 4 starring Bugs Bunny and 1 starring Woody Woodpecker for the GBA. It started on the NES, then Game Boy, then one of those black Game Boy cartridges that was Game Boy, and then Game Boy / Game Boy Color, and then one of those clear Game Boy cartridges, which is Game Boy Color only, then a GBA game with Woody Woodpecker. And to be honest with you, all you really needed was the NES game. It really wasn't anything different. Okay, here we got Kemby. If you had $10,000 to blow on games, what would you get? I'd get every single Working Designs game. I really would. And I would get some of the Atlas PS1 games. Probably throw in Suikoden 2. Mainly rare games, not so much games that are just coming out. And, you know, probably buy some consoles along with that, you know. It's $10,000, and, you know, video games, they go expensive, but not that expensive, you know. The only thing that's like $10,000 that like Gold NES World Champions cart. But yeah, you know, there's most of the games that are very rare go for over 100, not really over 1,000. But yeah, a lot of Working Designs games, a lot of Atlas PS1, maybe a few consoles. The next one you got is the game you ignored back in the day, is the game you ignored in the day now regret not getting? I think what he's trying to say is, was there a game back in the day that you ignored that you regret not getting? And yes, there actually has been quite a few. Mainly Persona 1 and 2. I was a little kid when I used to go on Amazon.com all the time and just look at what they had for video games, and to be honest with you, the artwork on Persona 1 and 2 really scared me, and you know, I passed them up, and you know, I was always curious about them. I'm dead serious, you know. I'm not just saying this now because I played Persona 4 and I loved it, but you know, really, I was very interested in the game, and I was just a little too scared to get it. I don't know why. I'll be dead serious with you. The art style was very dark, and you know, I really didn't know anything about the game. It just seemed like it was just a little too much for me. Another one was Klonoa for PS1. That was a very fun game. I think I played it once or twice. Maybe rented it. Yeah, I did play it. I think I rented it before. And you know, I never really got it, and I really liked it. So that's another one. It's another one. Hold on. It's coming back to me. Trying to remember what that was. It was on PS2. Actually pretty rare now. Damn it. I can't remember what that game was called. But I'll answer your next question and see if it comes back to me.